This week, we also received the first estimate of America's economic growth over the last few months, and it reminded us that bad decisions in Washington can get in the way of our economic progress.
Well, that was President Barack Obama in his weekly address defending the latest dismal economic data. So should the president continue to pass the blame or accept responsibility? Here to debate this, Fox News contributor Angela McGlowan and Democratic strategist Zerlina Maxwell. Good morning to you, ladies. Looking lovely as ever.
Thanks.
And Angela, I'll start with you.
Yes.
Is this really fair for him to be pushing the blame onto quote-unquote Washington when he's been in the White House for 4 years?
But that's President Obama. That's what he does. That's what Democrats do. They pass the buck. Instead of taking responsibility, this is the same old, same old. So he will continue to blame Washington, D.C., but isn't he a part of D.C.?
He's certainly a part of D.C., but he's not the only one there. And he can't pass laws, right? So if we're talking about an economic recovery, we need to be looking at the people that can actually pass laws in order to get that economic recovery moving.
He can't pass laws, but when Nancy Pelosi was Speaker, she enacted all of his proposals. That's the president. He has lobbyists that go to Capitol Hill and propose legislation, but Harry Reid hasn't even passed the budget.
Well, and Zerlina, I want to bring this up, too. We've got a graphic we can show that in January, the unemployment rate ticked up by 0.1%, up to 7.9%. So how long is it going to take for Americans really to start feeling fed up with all this, especially when they're starting to see less money in their paychecks because of this payroll tax?
That is a real concern, right? So Americans are continuing to feel the pain of the economic recovery being very slow. But the bottom line is the Bureau of Economic Analysis said the shrinking economy is caused by a reduction in government spending. And so the president is trying to say, look, we have to get stimulus into the economy, and we need to get everyone back to work. And that is caused by more spending, not less spending.
Democrats have proposed you cannot spend your way into prosperity, nor you can't tax people into prosperity. What you need to do is let the free markets take control. And basically, in Washington, D.C., we have bigger government. The president appointed 32 czars. What are those czars doing?
Well, czars is just a shortening of their actual title, which is normally long in the federal government. But I think that, Bureau of Economic Analysis saying that the cause of the shrinkage is due to the reduction in spending, that's something we need to look at.
We have not
we need to look at that.
Actually,
we have reduced spending.
The president talking about, they're happy to hear the president talking about the economy, period. And Angela, one thing you mentioned is that, yes, we've heard a lot about gun control lately. Yes, we've heard a lot about immigration. But is this a deflection tactic?
Of course it is. I mean, the bottom line is this. The president had 4 years before now to tackle immigration. Why are we all of a sudden talking about it now? Gun control, I can understand that, but basically he had 4 years to do something about that as well. You've lost more people in Chicago last year, Zerlina, than in Afghanistan.
Angela, we're going to have to leave it there. You have the last word. Zerlina, thanks for coming in as well. 20 minutes after the hour now on your Sunday morning, victory or faith? What did the changes